What's up, YouTube? It's Adam Grover coming at you guys with another video. Trying to get a little bit better at posting stuff up for you guys. But I figure I'd give you guys an update on this small block 350 budget build, which is just spiraled out of control down a rabbit hole that, I guess that's what happens. But I gotta still price everything on my list and add stuff up. But I did, however, sell a lot of the small block stuff. But I'm going to show you guys a couple things I got, and then I'll give you the rundown of everything I sold and how much I made. So, I got this oil pan. It's from KMJ. Pretty nice piece. Yes, it's not a drag pan, but it was cheap, and it'll do what I need it to do. So, I'm content with it. I ran a tap through the drain plug, and I cleaned up some of the sharp edges here, because this actually cut me open when I was carrying it. So, I took a little grinder and just cleaned the flashing off the edges. So, if you guys order this pan, or one similar, just watch yourself, and you might want to do that. The way you can, when you get at your bolts and stuff, you don't just cut your fingers open. But, Permatex, plastic gauge. These are the heads my dad did. Got these back. Did a killer job on these. I epoxied them. He did a great job on these. Epoxy job might not be the prettiest, but pretty don't always make power, so. That's my sleeve showing through right there. Push rods. That's those. This was the crank rods and pistons I bought. Or Icon forged pistons. Scat rods. And this is the one that needed a piston. Which I guess it still needs one, but sanded it down. If you guys are on my Facebook, then you saw what I did with this. Sanded this all down and tried to make it as smooth as possible. Take the ridges out. And we're going to use it and try it. It seemed to fit in the bore okay when I threw it in there, so. Not the best, not really what I wanted to do. I called the company to try to get well, before I even bought the stuff, I called the company, asked if I could get a piston. The lady on the phone said, yeah, we got them. I think that was on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Thursday I bought the stuff because she gave me the okay. And went down there, bought the crank rods, pistons, and called the Friday, the next day. I was told I'd get a call back. Never got a call back. Then I went and called them on, I believe it was Monday. And they said that they couldn't break a set for me after I was told they could. So I called back again. I tried to talk to the lady I talked to before because I'm like, maybe she can work some magic or something. And no luck. I was told that they're getting 5 sets of these pistons in sometime in mid-March, and I might. There's no guarantee that I can get a piston. So that's where we're at with that. So I sanded that down, took time to clean it up. I wrote a Bible verse on it, and it's the Lord's Prayer, so hopefully it keeps it together. And then this is the block. I don't feel like flipping it all over, but honed it. a little bit of oil right there, but honed it out. Put the crank in it, it's a scat crank, cast. Spins nicely. Put ARP bolts in it. And, you know, it's all together. New rear main seal. And like I said, spins nice. I plastic gauged it to check the tolerance in each main cap. They all came back, you know, the same. So I took that and ran with it. But it's getting there. So still got a lot of other stuff I got to get in order for it still. I got to get the rings. Got to get the rod bearings. All the gaskets and stuff pretty much for this. The oil pan gasket, head gaskets. I got to put the heads together still. So there's still a good amount of work that I got to do to this thing, but the cam bearings look good in it. The bearings that were in it actually looked good. The rod and mains both. So, but I'm not going to reuse main and rod bearings. The cam bearings I'll reuse. Just keep them in there. I'm not even going to mess with them. I don't have the tool to do them. They look okay, so never changed them in anything else I've ever had and haven't had a problem. So we're going to throw this together. That's pretty much it. That's the update on this. Started putting the fuel system in the car. The ignition's in it. You know, the box, the coil. Still got to wire all that stuff up. The fuel pump is not yet in the car. I still got to get some fittings and things, make brackets and mounts and all that. It's been cold here, so I haven't really touched the car, and we've had some other stuff going on with the family and things like that, to birthdays and stuff. So it's been a busy time. So just trying to get done what I can here at night and the free time that I have once in a while, and knock it out a little bit here, a little bit there. But still a lot left. After this all goes together, I want to get this Muncie back together, fix it, put a kit in it so it's fresh. I told you guys last time that I was going to sell that, try to get the 5-speed. So I'll see where I'm at as far as all that goes when the time comes. I really don't want to use this trans. I want something that's geared a little bit better. I mean, all the stuff looks great in it, except for that one problem I had with the slider. So once I fix that, it'll be probably really nice trans. But I really want a 5-speed in the car, and I gotta see when I get there. If I can't afford to pull it off and I can't get the money that I need out of this to pull it off, then might see it in the car. Depends on how impatient I get. I might just want it back together, and I got everything, so minus the rebuild kit at the moment. So once I get that together, I'll take that bend as it comes and figure it out. So that's pretty much it as far as this goes. It's getting there. Trying to source some more stuff that I need. And then as far as the stuff I sold, I obviously got rid of everything pretty much off this engine. Crank rods and pistons. I got $150 for that stuff. It was in good shape. Guy needed it to toss a motor together, and I think it'll be okay for him for what he's doing. He just wants to get his Camaro running to cruise it. So I think that'll be fine, be good, because that stuff in this, it was great. I mean, the motor didn't smoke or anything. It just started leaking oil out of the back, which I think the rear main took a crap in it. So other than that, it didn't smoke. It ran good. You know, I never had a problem with it the times I had it running, and the one time I drove it from Philly to home. But yeah, I sold that for $150. Crank rods, pistons. I sold the heads. I had an intake here that I made a deal with and basically broke even on. Sold the heads, the rockers, the push rods, the intake. It was a Victor Jr. Timing chain and gear, the front cover, the fuel pump drive, the fuel pump, the water pump, the fan, which was just a regular mechanical fan. Gave the guy all that stuff. I got $500 for that. The intake that was on the motor, the little dual plane, I sold that. I think I was 100 or 125. I can't remember now. I think I was 100. And then the camshaft and the lifters I sold for $125 out of the motor. So I ended up with like around, I think it was like $875 or $900 or something. So I made out pretty good on that, all that stuff. So that bought me the crank, rods, pistons, and then, you know, some of the other crap I can deduct that price from. So I got to go through the whole list when this is done, tally it all up, every nut and bolt, every tube of whatever I get, silicone and thread locker, whatever it is, and add it all up and see where we're at. So epoxy for the heads, all that stuff. I want to put all that into account for the build, so that way we know exactly what's in this thing. And then we got to see what it runs to see if it was worth it. Because if I put this thing together and it goes 12 seconds, I'm going to be really upset having this much money that I have, because I got a decent amount of money into it. So hopefully it runs the number that I want it to run, so that way it's still a budget build. And because if it goes 12s, it ain't a budget build. You can do that with a stock LT1. You can find those motors for like 500 to 1,000 and slap intake, carb, exhaust, and put it in the car, and got a 12-second car. So this is I got a pretty high expectation for this motor. Before, you guys know, I wanted it to go into the 10s, but now it better go into the 10s. So I'm not going to put the number out there right now, but there's a couple people that know where I want it to be at. So hopefully it does what I want it to do, and we'll see if it does it. If it does it, then I'll consider it a budget build. If it don't, then it was a waste. So we'll see. So that's pretty much it, guys. I can't think of nothing else that I got here that I picked up since the last video I did for you guys on it. That's where we're at with this thing. I'm happy with how the crank and all turned out in it. I think I did a decent job for being my first time I ever did any of this stuff. I never honed a motor before. I mean, I guess in high school, you know, just learning, but I've watched people put motors together and stuff, but me personally, I've never done any of this stuff to my own stuff. It's the first time I'm doing it, and I guess we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully it lasts a good while and does me good. So that being said, I'll catch you guys later. Get out there, work on your stuff, and have fun, and enjoy it. And hopefully you guys have a good 2024 season and have some fun. I'll talk to you.